First of a 4-game set with these Florida Marlins and on to Atlanta for 3, and the first time the Phillies are playing in their division this year. So the games become even more important for the Phils. Marlins taking the field now behind their left-hander Chris Hammond. Jim Fragosi's lineup for the Phils. Lenny Dykstra center field leads off. Mariano Duncan second base bats second. John Kruk at first base hitting third. Dave Holland's third baseman bats fourth. Darren Dalton catching hitting fifth. Wes Chamberlain the right fielder hits sixth. Pete Incaviglia left fielder bats seventh. Kim Batiste will play shortstop tonight hitting eighth. And Ben Rivera pitching hitting ninth. That lineup is facing Chris Hammond.
28-year-older Chris Hammond. He was the best pitcher the Marlins had last year. Almost 6 strikeouts per 9 innings. A little over 3 walks per game.
Defensively behind Hammond, Dave Magadan at third base. Kurt Abbott, a rookie at shortstop. At second base is Jerry Brown. Orestes Destrade at first base. Ron Tingley doing the catching. In the outfield from left to right, Jeff Conine in left. Chucky Carr in center, and Gary Sheffield moved from third base to right field. Umpires for tonight's game calling the balls and strikes will be Larry Poncino. Mike Winters at first base. Crew chief Bruce Fleming at second, and Angel Hernandez will umpire at third. It was announced before the game tonight by the Florida Marlins that Benito Santiago will not appeal his 4-game suspension, and he will begin serving that 4-game suspension tonight, so we won't see Santiago this whole series. And they have called up from the Eastern League their #1 draft pick, Charles Johnson, called up from Portland, Maine. Charlie Johnson, a product of the University of Miami here in Florida. Chris Hammond last year won 11 and lost 12. He was the leading winner on the Marlins pitching staff last year. So far this year he is 1-3, although he has a good ERA of 3.16. He has not been backed by much support. Lenny Dykstra the first one to face him. Dykstra hitting at .272. Lenny leads the league in runs scored with 28 of them. On the inside corner for a strike. No balls and a strike to Lenny Dykstra. Two quick strikes to Dykstra. Lenny had not been hitting left-hand pitching at all. He was like 0 for 22 in his first 22 at bats against left-handers. Then in the San Diego series he hit everything left and right. That was close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dykstra lifetime is hitless against his left-hander, nothing out of 4. Half swing foul.
It's a great hitting ballpark. They say the ball is carrying very well to center field, straight center field.
Just to the right of straight center field, it's 404 feet. It juts out to left center, deep left center to 434. Not a symmetrical park. Dykstra's called out on strikes.
And take the bat off his shoulder. That's really unusual for him. Every one of those pitches were pretty close. The curveball. Lenny thought it might have been low, but it looked like a pretty good pitch. Just above the knees.
Brings up Mariano Duncan. Dunk batting at .241. Hammond was 1-0 last year against the Phillies with a good ERA, .277. Phillies hit him when he was with Cincinnati. Lifetime he's 2-2 against the Phils with a 5-point ERA. He came over to Florida from Cincinnati along with Gary Scott in the deal that sent Hector Carrasco to Cincinnati in March of last year. Hard ground base hit left field. So Duncan is a one-out base runner, and that'll bring up John Kruk. Krucker hitting .345.
Alan Arnold and Penn Argyle, PA, is 88 today, and Bill Anderson Croydon is 70.
And birthday wishes to Kevin Fitzgerald, celebrating a birthday today. Nice grass and dirt field here at Joe Robbie Stadium. Down the left field line is .330, but you have to carry it over that huge scoreboard to hit a home run. Down the right field line is .345. Breaking ball for a strike.
Well, he hasn't thrown many balls here tonight. Almost everything is a strike.
Phillies handled Florida pretty well last year. The Phils were 9-4. There's a ball that skips away from Tingley. His throw is high, backed up by Brown, and Duncan will have to stay at second base. Probably be scored a wild pitch.
The ball got down in the dirt, and haven't seen much of Tingley. He's been around a while, but he's been in the minor leagues. See, that's tried to trap it, but it rolled away from him. That's heads-up base running by Duncan. Tingley almost threw it over everybody.
So Duncan at second base. Count 1-1 to John Kruk. This with his changeup. 2-1. Tingley is a 34-year-old. Played the majors for San Diego, Cleveland, and California last year. Full year at California, although he appeared in just 58 games. Good defensive receiver. Pitch called a strike. Kruk thought it was wide. It's 2-2. He always catches when Charlie Huff pitches. They give Santiago the day off when the knuckleballer pitches. But now he'll do the brunt of the catching. The Santiago serving the suspension. Well hit to left center, but Chucky Carr is there, makes the catch. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Dave Hollins. Hollins batting at .258. In his career, he's been a better right-hand hitter than left, but not this year so far, hitting just .154 right-handed. Song the stadium organ has played for Dave Hollins. 'Tis the season to be jolly. One of the most intense players in the game, Mr. Hollins. 1 ball and no strikes. Change up, and he got him out in front of it. Pops it up toward Dave Magadan at third base. In fair territory, makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. The end of 1/2, Phillies nothing. Marlins coming to bat.
Introducing the lineup of your favorite Phillies photo ball baseballs. Play ball! Collect all 5 at Burger King for only $2.99 each. Here's the play-by-play on how. Slide into your participating Burger King restaurant. Buy any delicious value meal. Run home with 1 Phillies photo ball. Let's replay. Slide. Buy. Score! Collect a different photo ball each week for $2.99 at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way. What a steal!
Now's your chance to experience the perfect drive. Come into your Cadillac dealer and lease a DeVille for only $399 a month for 24 months, $2,400 down. The perfect drive at an incredible price. And while you're at your Cadillac dealer, register to win a luxurious weekend for 2 at the world-renowned Greenbrier in Cadillac's Life of Luxury sweepstakes.
Hey, Cadillac, how you like this for a perfect drive?
Hurry to your Cadillac dealer. The Life of Luxury sweepstakes ends soon.
I'm John Murray. Congress spent $100,000 to find out why people don't like beets. My kids could have told them that. I'm committed to cutting wasteful spending and creating real jobs.
You're watching Philadelphia's movie station, PHL 17.
Back at Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, the Marlins coming to bat here in the bottom half of the first inning. And the lineup for Rene Latchman and the Florida Marlins. Chuck Carr, center fielder, leads off. Dave Magadan, third baseman, batting second. Gary Sheffield, right fielder, hitting third. Jeff Conine, the left fielder, bats fourth. Orestes Destrade at first base hits fifth. Jerry Brown will be at second base, batting sixth. Kurt Abbott, the shortstop, hits seventh. Ron Tingley, the catcher, will bat eighth, and batting ninth and pitching is Chris Hammond. That lineup facing Ben Rivera.
Ben has 2 wins and a loss, 4.5 strikeouts per game, and too many walks, a little over 6 per 9 innings.
Defensively behind Ben Rivera, Dave Hollins at third, Kim Baptiste at shortstop, Mariano Duncan at second, John Kruk at first, Aaron Dalton catching. In the outfield, Pete Incaviglia at left, Lenny Dykstra in center, and Wes Chamberlain in right. Chuck Carr, the switch hitter, will lead off for Florida. He's batting at .320, hitting .361 left-handed. On the inside corner for a strike, 0-1 to Carr. Carr led the National League in stolen bases last year, 58 of them. Off-speed pitch. No balls and 2 strikes to Carr. Back through the middle, a base hit to center field. And Carr will have to be watched. He's 9 for 9 in the stolen base department, second in the league behind only Deion Sanders, who has 10 steals.
He won too many curveballs here. That was up and out over the plate where he just laid the bat on it. Had him 2 strikes. Then doesn't hold runners on all that well either, so I suppose Carr will be off and running.
Dave Magadan hitting at .290. One strike to Magadan. Magadan hitting right about at his lifetime average. He's a lifetime .289 hitter. Carr started and stopped, might have read the pitch out. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben Rivera's never lost to the Marlins. He's won 2, lost none. His career ERA is 2.00. 3 balls and a strike to Dave Magadan. There goes Carr. The pitch is low. Dalton, no prayer. Stolen base. Chuck Carr is 10th. He hasn't been caught.
Dalton might have had a shot at him with a little better pitch to field, but Carr really had a pretty good jump. He just flat out beat the ball there. Dalton had to go low and inside and then come back for the throw.
So Magadan will try to pull the ball now. He's ahead in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Carr at second base and nobody out. Walked him. Marlins have their first 2 men on base. Nobody out for Gary Sheffield.
Doesn't look like Ben has much of a fastball tonight. He hasn't thrown one yet. He's thrown a fastball, but it's not getting up there very quickly.
In his last 3 starts, even the game that he won at home against San Francisco, he was clocking out max around 83, 84. Not as hard as he had thrown last year, certainly. Gary Sheffield has a 9-game hitting streak going for him, hitting at .438, second in the league in runs batted in 28, second in the league in homers 11, second in the league in slugging percentage, third in the league in runs scored, hitting at .323. Missing with a breaking ball.
Don't forget Chucky out there, Rivera.
1 ball and no strikes to Gary Sheffield. There are the base runners. Carr at second, Magadan at first, and nobody out. Beats a foul down the third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sheffield, all-star third baseman last year, hit a home run in the all-star game off Mark Langston. He popped him up, foul and out of play. Sheffield has a type of batting style, Whitey, you wouldn't teach a youngster the way he waves that bat, flaps that bat before the pitch comes in. But it's effective for him.
Yeah, it must trigger his swing a little bit. He is so quick through the strike zone. I don't think anybody in the league gets through the strike zone with that bat quicker than Gary Sheffield.
What he does with that bat.
It does something for him.
Just so long as it's back when the pitch comes in, not going forward. Ground ball to second, should be 2. Baptiste 1, relay wide, and it pulls Kruk off the bag. Should have been a double play, but is not. They get Magadan at second base. Sheffield at first on a fielder's choice. Carr moves up to third, and the batter will be Jeff Conine.
And that was a perfect double play ball. Perfect double play ball. Good catch there by Kruk to keep it from going over there towards this Marlins dugout.
Brings on Jeff Conine. He's batting at .318. He's knocked in 22. He's 9th in the league in runs batted in. Played them all last year for Florida. In the early going, you get the feeling like Ben doesn't particularly want to throw his fastball, Whitey.
Well, you got to throw it sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, you know, he's got a pretty good curveball going for him, but there comes a time when, you know, you have to go with that fastball.
Sheffield at first base has stolen 4 bases. He's been thrown out twice. Another breaking ball, misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Fouled off the fastball. 2-1.
That fastball was a little better, had a little mustard on it.
Marlin runners first and third with one out here in the bottom of the first. Three balls and a strike to Conine. Ben in first inning trouble here. Walked in to load the bases. That's the second walk in the inning. So the Marlins have him loaded with one out. For Orestes Destrade. Destrade hitting a .218, 4 home runs. He's knocked in 10. Hit .255 last year for the Marlins with 20 home runs. Lifetime he's hitless against Rivera, nothing for 6. One strike to Destrade. Destrade, Cuban-born, played in Japan for several seasons, where he's the home run king in Japan. Speaks Spanish, Japanese, and English. Fouled off a high breaking ball, nothing in 2.
Got away with a pitch there. It was, as you said, high and out over the plate where Destrade likes him. Had a pretty good cut and fouled it. Dutch was out there. Pitch was probably even a little outside.
No balls and 2 strikes to Destrade. He's called out on strikes. That's a big out for Ben Rivera, who now can see his way out of this inning. 2 down. It'll bring up the switch hitting Jerry Brown.
Took a fastball right down the middle of the plate.
Had to be looking for the deuce,
Yeah.
I guess, huh?
Sure
As
he
many
was.
curveballs as Ben has thrown here in the first inning. Brown is a switch hitter. Adding .269 overall. Veteran player who's been in the American League most of his career with Texas, Cleveland, and Oakland. 1 strike to him. Bases are loaded with Marlins with 2 outs. Missed with a backdoor breaking ball, 1-1. Line drive down the right field line, a fair ball going all the way to the corner. 3 runs are going to score. Brown heading for third, and he is there with a triple. And the Marlins lead it 3-0 on a bases-loaded triple by Jerry Brown. So the Phillies' failure to turn the double play costs him here in the first.
And he made a bad pitch here, too. He had a 1-1 count. That was a high curveball, dropped over the middle of the plate, and Brown really turned on it just inside the chalk line. Long run there for Wes Chamberlain, and the run scored easily.
Brown was a late insertion into the lineup. Originally, they had Brett Barbary in there. So Brown has paid off with a bases loaded triple, and the batter is Kurt Abbott, the rookie shortstop, who's hitting at .247. They got him from the Oakland A's during the winter in a deal that sent Kerwin Moore to Oakland. Coming off a big year at the AAA level, he was Pacific Coast League All-Star shortstop. Abbott hit .319. A lot of extra base hits, 36 doubles, 11 triples, 12 homers, and 79 RBIs for Abbott. One ball and 2 strikes to Kurt Abbott. A little bit high. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
2-2 to Kurt Abbott. Fouled it straight back, still 2-2. Chase the inside pitch, still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouls off another pitch. Holds it 2-2.
Abbott's chasing a lot of bad pitches. They're high. They're hittable. They're not thrown that hard.
He'll strike out a lot. He has struck out 30 times this year. It's the ball on the ground to Dave Hollins. Abbott's retired. So are the Marlins in the first, but they put 3 on the board on 2 hits along with 2 walks, no errors, 1 left. After 1, 3-0 Florida.
You're looking at the fountain of youth. Advanced Formula Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. In a test, it protected an engine for 200,000 miles. The result? Vital engine parts that looked as young as the day they were born. There was virtually no engine wear. If you're looking for the fountain of youth, you'll find it in a container of motor oil. Mobil 1 synthetic. It keeps your engine running like new.
Tom Ridge's attack ad is yet another cheap shot, and he knows it. Nobody's been a tougher prosecutor than I have, period. I'll put my record up against Tom Ridge's record in Congress any day. Tom Ridge voted to raise our taxes, and millions lost their jobs. He bounced checks in that House bank scandal. And 2 weeks ago, he didn't even show up to vote for the death penalty. So it lost by just 1 vote. Here's the difference. Tom Ridge wants to fool around with those negative ads. I want to build a better Pennsylvania.
You know why your Quality Plus Ford dealer is the truck authority? The Ford F-150 is again the #1 truck in America for 17 years straight. Of all full-size pickups built over the past 16 years, there are more Fords still on the road. And they're backed by 24-hour roadside service. Plus, the big Ford has split bench seating, a strong bolted frame, more horsepower than Dodge, more torque than Chevy. The Ford F-150, now with $1,200 in savings. That's why your Quality Plus Ford dealer is the truck authority.
After 1 inning of play, it's the Florida Marlins 3, the Phils nothing. Upcoming telecasts of Phillies baseball include tomorrow and Saturday night against these Marlins. We're on the air at 7:30 tomorrow night and 7 o'clock on Saturday night right here on PHL 17. Darren Dalton leads off for the Phils here in the second. Dutch batting at .302. 6 homers. He's knocked in 21. A good lifetime hitter against this left-hander. A career .375 hitter against Hammond with 2 homers. Pops the foul out of play. Third base side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ben had 30 first inning pitches. Walked a couple. Ben Rivera there with Jeff Juden. Surrendering a bases loaded triple. The Marlins lead at 3-0. Sweeping breaking ball is over for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. In tight to him, 2-2. Again inside, full count. Called out on a 3-2 breaking ball. That's the second strikeout for Hammond. 1 down here in the second.
Good pitch. Excellent 3-2 curve. Yes, sir. It was right there. Perfect pitch.
Brings up Wes Chamberlain. Chamberlain hitting at .314. Lifetime, he's 1 for 1 against Hammond. It was a home run. Marlins have been getting fairly decent pitching. Their staff ERA is under 4 at 3.97. They're without ace closer Brian Harvey now. He's on the disabled list. Jeremy Hernandez and others have picked up the slack and done a good job out of the pen.
Hernandez has saved 4 out of 4. You can't improve on that.
Changeup fooled him. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That changeup to the right-hand batters has been a good pitch for Hammond. This pitch was probably a little low. Was maybe even outside.
Down and in. It's a full count to Wes Chamberlain. Struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Hammond. 2 down here in the second.
That was even a high changeup. That's good. That's a great pitch to hit, a high changeup. Hitters usually see it. West pulled off of it and took his head off the ball.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Pete Incaviglia batting at .204. Takes one a little bit low for a ball. 1-0. through the middle, a base hit to center field. Phillies' second hit off Hammond. And it will bring up Kim Baptiste.
Marlins play in Cavilli is a dead pull hitter, so once he got that ball by the pitcher, nobody would field it.
Baptiste batting at 143. Hughes softly to shortstop. Abbott throws to Brown for the force on Incaviglia. Phillies are down in the second. No runs, one hit, no errors, and one left. We go to the bottom of the second. 3-0 Florida.
Michael Dudikoff.
You won't stop us, Hamilton.
Waging a one-man war against the new Third Reich. A force so evil, so powerful, so deadly. Only one man has the courage, the strength, and the guts to destroy it. Michael Dudikoff sails alone down the river of death.
Saturday on PHL 17.
The Phillies want to give Alou a boo-boo and tell Walker to take a hike when Montreal comes to town. Monday, May 16th and Tuesday, May 17th at 7:35. And Wednesday, May 18th at 1:05 for a Fun in the Sun Business Person Special, compliments of Mellon PSFS. 3 big games against divisional rivals. Order your tickets now. Call 463-1000. That's 463-1000.
So, where's the boss today?
Picked up his new car.
What'd he get? The BMW? The Lexus?
Neither. He got the Bonneville.
Really?
Said he couldn't see spending 10, 20 grand more. With dual airbags, ABS, leather, CD, and $1,000 down, it was only $329 a month on a Pontiac 30-month Smart Drive.
$329. He likes bargains.
He likes cars.
The 1994 Bonneville, now just $329 a month with the Pontiac Smart Drive.
What would you do with a Motorola Pager?
Mom's not home! Pager.
With a Motorola Pager, the important people in your life can always reach you.
Ooh, this works.
The affordable, portable Motorola Pager.
Impelling force into your life. Well, Sunday, May 15th, when the Phillies take on the Pirates at Veterans Stadium, we have a great new item for all women 15 and over. Big white oversized t-shirt features a very colorful Phillies logo on the front. Great for all occasions like the beach, pool, picnic, or just to kick around the house with. It's a great way to show your Phillies colors. Compliments of Thriftway. That's May 15th, 1:35 against the Pirates. For tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by the Veterans Stadium ticket office. Ron Tingley leads off. Tingley, a good defensive catcher, but not a very good hitter. He's just 1 for 22, hitting at .045. Hit right at the Mendoza line last year for California in 58 games.
I have to say he's in a little slump now. 1 for 22. Those are the kind of guys you want to walk.
Yeah. Lifetime as a major league hitter, he is under the Mendoza line, hitting in the 180s. And Rivera fell behind him and gives up a base hit to Tingley.
I think I was Ben Rivera. I'd get mad out there pretty soon. You know, he walked a couple of guys in the first inning. Hung a curveball that cost him 3 runs. Now this guy's hitting 0-45, drops behind him 3-1. I think you got to get mad pretty soon. And
good shot of Tingley as he took first base. He looked up in the skies and said thank you. Hammond is attempting to move him up. Hammond's not a bad hitting pitcher. He's just 1 for 9 this year, but lifetime he's a .203 hitter, including 3 home runs. Gets the bunt down. Ben takes the out at first base. Sacrifice good by Hammond. It goes Rivera to Duncan. Moves Tingley to second base and brings on Chucky Carr. Carr has singled and scored a run. Marlins lead 3-0 here in the second.
Chucky Carr has a little hot dog in him, but I tell you, he's a pretty good ball player, and he's as good a defensive center fielder as there is in baseball. He's hitting this year, too, hitting over 300.
I think he's as good a center fielder as Darren Lewis or Marquise Grissom.
Or Devon White. I think he is. This guy can really cover a lot of ground.
1 ball and no strikes to Chuck Carr. 1-1. Again, Ben's fastball tonight does not appear to have much velocity on it.
When you don't have that fastball, you know, you don't have much else. You can throw that curve as he just did, but the curve doesn't have the bite on it either if you don't have some velocity behind it. He started that way his last ball game, but he picked it up.
Got that breaking ball in there. It's 2-2. Into center field, shallow. Dykstra challenges and makes a diving catch. Nice play by Lenny Dykstra for out number 2.
Carr didn't hit it all that well, and Lenny had to really charge and caught the ball about a foot above the ground, able to stay with it.
Brings up Dave Magadan. He walked his first time up. One ball and no strikes to Magadan. In the dirt, 2-0.
This fellow's probably the best hitter on the Marlins team is for pure hitting.
Three balls and no strikes. Gary Sheffield waiting on deck. Tingley at second base with 2 outs. Three and 1. that breaking ball over. Gave him a 3-1 breaking ball. It's a full count.
Trouble with that is, you know, if you're reluctant to throw that 3-1 fastball, if you don't have a good enough fastball to throw it, you're in trouble to start with. It's hard to finesse your way through all these hitters.
Fastball, and he did not miss it. This ball is out of here. 2-run home run. Dave Magadan, his first of the year. And the Marlins now lead it 5-0. He got the 3-2 fastball, and he slugged it.
He got it up, and he didn't have anything on it. Those are the pitches that get hit out of ballparks, even by guys that don't hit home runs very often. As Dave Magadan doesn't. See, that was up there right around the waist. Jumped all over.
Gary Sheffield takes one right down the middle for a strike. He hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. Phillies are getting some bullpen activity. Sean Bosky. Two balls and a strike. Three and one. Magadan's first home run of the year. Chased the pitch high and out of the strike zone. Full count. Ground ball to Dave Hollins. Sheffield's retired. So are the Marlins in the second. They get two more on 2 hits, no errors, and none left. After 2, it's 5-0 Florida.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy? You okay? Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Iggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Iggy.
You can't use a mobile phone to tell your boss you're running late.
He said 2:45, right?
To tell your client you're stuck in traffic.
Look, where is he?
Or tell your wife your car's broken down.
Temperature dropping rapidly towards this evening. The showers.
Unless
Hello?
the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
When it comes to conversion vans, we know how to help. Start with this Ram cargo van and the power of its Magnum engine. Choose the 5.9-liter V8 and you'll have the highest towing ratings of any comparable van around. Next, our factory-approved converters can give you this seat style, this one, or this one. You can even get a VCR, TV, CD player, a cell phone, video games. But before you add anything, be sure to subtract this. And that equals the Dodge Ram conversion van. See your nearest Dodge dealer today. We know how to help.
You don't want to be all wet? Come get a free beach towel featuring the NL Championship logo for kids 14 and under. Compliments of MAV Paints when the Phillies take on Houston and the Wild Thing. Sunday, May 29th, 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Tom Quinlan's going to lead off for the Phils as a pinch hitter for Ben Rivera. Quinlan, called up when Kevin Stocker was put on the disabled list, was hitting .300 in 21 games at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. His first Phillies major league at bat. He has been a bat 17 times in the big leagues while with Toronto.
Bad night for Ben. 2 innings, 5 runs.
Our trivia question tonight is brought to you by Dodge. Can you name the only pitcher to record a 45 or more save season in both leagues? No balls and 2 strikes to Quinlan. Struck him out. That's 4 strikeouts now for Hammond.
Pitch was high. Couldn't catch up to it.
Lenny Dykstra was called out on strikes his first time up. One strike to Dykstra. Marlins lead here 5-0. We are in the 3rd. In the air to left field, Conine makes the catch. 2 down. That'll bring up Mariano Duncan, who singled his first time up. Well, on Sunday, May 22nd, when the Phils take on Dallas Green's Mets, we have a great giveaway item for all youngsters 14 and under. A large-size growth chart featuring the Fanatic and Darren Dalton. Full color and extra big. Compliments of Mid-Atlantic Milk Marketing Association. That's May 22nd against the Mets. For tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets. Two balls and no strikes to Mariano Duncan. Taking all the way, takes a strike. It's 2-1. Change up, and he cues it out to the pitcher Hammond, who throws him out to retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It is 5-0 Florida.
I work with a group of people who fit all the environmentalist stereotypes. We care about the air we breathe and the water we drink. And we're convinced that big business must accept responsibility for its impact on our environment. That's why we believe that these environmental principles, written by an independent group, make an awful lot of sense. The only thing missing was a Fortune 500 company willing to be the first to endorse them. So we did. So much for stereotypes.
He hasn't been to work in days, officer. He kept my poor Lenny up half the night with all his cheering and clapping.
Missing work, cheering, clapping alone all night. I see it all the time. He's hooked on Prism. Police, open up!
Center field, way back. If you're hooked on the Phillies, you'll be hooked on Prism. We're televising 40 exclusive Phillies home games this season and 100 different movies a month. Call 1-800-CABLE-ME. Get 2 free Phillies tickets and $4.95 installation.
Looks like extra innings.
Oh.
You're supposed to win, but you don't. You remember everything. Every round, every punch. You don't know why you didn't win. All you know is, next time you will. Revenge. 4 championship rematches this weekend. Live on pay-per-view from the MGM Grand Las Vegas.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. By Dodge. See the award-winning lineup of new cars and trucks at your local Dodge dealer. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Sean Bosky is the new pitcher for the Phils. Bosky appearing in his 8th game, counting his work with the Cubs. He's had 2 starts. No wins, 1 loss, a 4.58 ERA. 17 2/3 innings of work, 25 hits and 9 earned runs. He has struck out 11 while walking just 2. Jeff Conine, the first one to face him, walked his first time up. Our trivia question tonight brought to you by Dodge. Can you name the only pitcher to record a 45 save season in both leagues?
It would have to be Brian Harvey. He did it with California, and he did it with Florida last year.
45 saves last year for the Marlins and 46 in '91 for California. One of the game's premier closers, Brian Harvey. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jeff Conine. There he is on the disabled list, but still out with the bullpen crew. Bosky on for Ben Rivera, who just did not have it tonight. 2 innings of work, 4 hits, 5 runs earned. No strikeout, 1 strikeout rather, and 2 walks. Fouled out of play. 2-2 the count to Conine. Conine's become a very good, steady ball player. They got him in the expansion draft from Kansas City and had a very solid season last year, hitting .292 while playing every game, hitting .318 coming into this game. This a ground ball. Baptiste in the hole, throws out Conine. 1 down. That'll bring on Orestes Destrade. He was called out on strikes his first time up.
That was a highlight of Rivera's night, striking Estrada out with the bases loaded and 1 out. Had a chance he could get the next hitter out, but Brown hit a triple.
On the outside corner for a strike, and Rivera left to his own thoughts after the tough outing here tonight. Looped into shallow left center field, and Baptiste, the shortstop, makes the play. That's 2 down, and that'll bring up Jerry Brown. Brown tripled to knock in 3 his first time up. On the inside corner for a strike. Got that one over. 2 quick strikes. John Bosky, 27 years old. Breaking ball. Did he check? Yes, the appeal going down to the third base umpire, who says he did, Angel Hernandez. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bosky, an original first-round pick by the Cubs in the January '86 draft. Phil's got him from the Cubs for Kevin Foster. Missing with a breaking ball. It's 2-2. The ball to right field, but Chamberlain makes the catch at the crack. Browns hit it hard twice. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. Chris Wheeler joins Rich Ashford in the fourth. At the end of 3, it's 5-0 Florida.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
And I am Mr. Gallywikich.
You mean Dr. Galakowicz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
We asked the Russo brothers of Philadelphia which is Roy Rogers' new $1.99 Philly cheesesteak and which is the Philly original.
This is the original Philly cheesesteak right here.
How could you have it? I got it.
They couldn't agree, because Roy's has the same authentic ingredients. Thinly sliced steak, sautéed onions, and melted cheese in a soft bakery roll. But it's only $1.99. Roy's new Philly cheesesteak, just like the ones in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love.
Roy's new Philly cheesesteak, just $1.99.
When the Phillies come home Thursday, May 12th, they'll face the Pittsburgh Pirates in a 4-game series. On that Sunday afternoon, it's oversized T-shirts day. The Expos come in starting Monday, May 16th, and a business person special on that Wednesday at 1:05. And then the Mets will come in for the weekend, and Sunday will be growth chart day. Call 463-1000 for Phillies tickets. John Kruk leads off the Phillies fourth. Kruk's 0 for 1. Right out to center field. Kruk, Hollins, and Dalton here in the fourth. The Phillies trail 5-0. Shortstop right there. Makes the play easily. 1 down. Hammond has only given up 2 singles. 1 to Duncan, 1 to Incaviglia.
He's done a good job of using his breaking ball and changeup, really, and using his fastball, kind of just spotting it. And the Phillies are in a situation where they have to try and get a run here, get a run there, and not try to get it back all at once.
Dave Hollins popped out his first at bat, hitting at .255 and a strike. Houston leads Cincinnati 2-0 after 4. Ball and a strike. Dodgers and Giants will play later on the West Coast. 4-game series. Cardinals and Mets are 0-0 after 1. Hit hard, but Conine there. Out to the warning track. 2 outs. Kansas City beat Toronto 11-9 this afternoon.
You might see a few more fastballs from Hammond now that he has a 5-0 lead. And that's what he threw there, a high fastball to Hollins. Normally this guy's going to pitch backwards and throw change-ups, breaking balls, and not use his fastball very much, but he has enough runs now. He could throw his fastball a lot more if he would like to.
Dalton struck out his first time up. Hits it a mile high, but right there for Sheffield. The Phillies quickly down in order. Marlins batting in the fourth. They lead 5-0.
On the conclusion of a special 2-part Renegade.
Change of plans. I've got Miss Yeager now.
It's a $1 million bounty, and Reno's ready to cash in.
Bronson says you stole it.
How can I steal something that doesn't exist?
But behind the truth lies a trap.
Do you believe me now?
and the end of the road for Reno Reigns.
Bring me the girl.
Don't miss the next Renegade.
Sunday at 7 on PHL 17.
Republicans have a clear choice.
Sam Katz, one of the Hopkins 12 anti-war radicals. Katz was a Philadelphia Democrat who came in dead last when he ran for Philadelphia mayor. His plan, increase taxes on the suburbs.
Ernie Preate, the FBI is investigating Preate for accepting illegal cash contributions. Preate is facing possible impeachment.
There's a better choice. Tom Ridge, Bronze Star in Vietnam, prosecutor, Republican congressman. He can change Pennsylvania, honestly.
At Geo, we've thought a lot about safety. That's why Geo Prism comes with standard dual airbags and available anti-lock brakes. In addition, it's equipped with a rugged steel safety cage. You see, we not only want to make accidents easier to avoid, we also want to make them easier to walk away from.
Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know Geo Prism with over 100 standard safety features.
Good evening, I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. A light schedule in baseball tonight. First of all, we'll tell you about the afternoon game. Kansas City 11-9 over Toronto. Oakland, California is a 10:05 start. There is one big story in baseball. The Red Sox might have the best record in baseball. They received some bad news today. An MRI test revealed that the pitching elbow for Frank Viola indicates that he has ligament damage and muscle damage. He will undergo season-ending surgery later this week. Bad news for the Red Sox. 5-0 Marlins lead, bottom of the fourth. Wheels and Richie.
Thanks, Neil. Kurt Abbott will lead off for the Marlins here in the fourth inning. They really had some nice crowds out down here, and I guess you'd call this Fort Lauderdale.
It's Miami. It still is in the very, very northern end of Dade County. And it is Miami. Yeah, North Miami.
Abbott grounded out his only at bat. Takes a strike.
Their attendance is off a little bit, and you know, there's been some speculation on it, but they're still drawing really well. I think there was some novelty to it last year, and they seem to be settling into decent crowds.
Strike two on Abbott. He's a wild swinger.
Yeah, he's a young player out of the Oakland organization, and when they let Walt Weiss go last year, they knew they needed a shortstop. They made a deal with Oakland and picked up Abbott, and they lead the league in double plays. So he's one of the guys doing a pretty good job.
Here's the owner of the Miami Marlins.
And a lot of other teams.
Wayne Huizinga.
Florida Marlins. The hockey team, the Panthers. Blockbuster Video. And I think he's going to be part of the ownership of the Miami Dolphins. I don't know whether the league has approved him or not, but he's trying to be part of that. So they say he's just a regular guy too. Sure he is.
Hit pretty well, but Incaviglia right there and makes the catch. One away. Ron Tingley, the batter. The media guide, the Phillies 94 media guide is available for all facts and figures and bios you ever need to know about the team. It's on sale for $8 plus $2 mail and handling. Purchase it by phone, call 463-1000. Or by mail to Phillies Publications, Post Office Box 7575, Philadelphia 1901. Or you can purchase them at the Phillies newsstands at the ballpark. That's going to be trouble. Got him. Nice play, Dave Holland. Tingley's out. Two away.
Holland is good on that play when he has to charge a ball and throw on the run. He had a catcher running. Ball took a nice hop up for him too. Then he gets it and throws on the run. Makes a perfect throw to John Kruk.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
He gets time to throw the ball. Sometimes it doesn't. He's not that accurate. Hammond, the batter, the pitcher, has sacrificed his first time at bat. Not a bad hitter, Chris Hammond. Takes a strike.
Two indications tonight that Ben Rivera was in trouble. One was when Tingley got a base hit off him. He hadn't had hit off a right-hander all year. And when he threw that 3-1 breaking ball to Magadan with Sheffield on deck.
Popped him up. That's Incaviglia making the call and the catch. And the Marlins down in order. After 4 full innings, Florida 5, Phillies nothing.
These guys are good.
Who are you calling guys? Yeah.
Looks like you're in the finals. Ma'am, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
You're the defending ladies pool champion?
Yes, I am.
Now you can play bingo anytime, anywhere. Pennsylvania Lottery Bingo. It's portable bingo. Pennsylvania Lottery Bingo tickets are so popular, people will do anything to get them. It's portable bingo.
Lately, other long-distance companies have been throwing numbers at you on how much they're positive they can save your business over AT&T. Hey, anybody can juggle numbers, right? Truth is, they're tossing around these numbers without comparing similar plans and discounts, domestic or international, because if they did, there wouldn't be much left to juggle. We're telling you this because at AT&T, we don't want anyone to do a number on you. For the true figures, call us. Let AT&T work for you.
Florida Marlins are 12-0 when they score runs in the first inning, and they did it tonight on a 3-run bases-loaded triple by Jerry Brown, and then they got 2 more in the second inning on a 2-run home run by Dave Magadan. They've scored 5 runs tonight with 2 outs and lead 5-0.
Wes Chamberlain leads it off, followed by Incaviglia and Baptiste. Chamberlain struck out his first time up. Wes hitting at .306.
Started to talk about Rivera before the inning ended. When he threw a 3-1 breaking ball to Magadan with Sheffield on deck, that's when you really knew that they didn't want him to throw his fastball, because he just didn't have one tonight, it appeared, or he was real short with it. And I think that's one of the reasons why he got the quick hook. Even though it was 5-0, it was more or less that he just wasn't throwing the ball very well.
Strike 1 on Chamberlain. Low and inside. You can score runs in this ballpark. You put together some hits.
Yeah, you can't just try to hit home runs all the time, though. That's what I meant about trying to piece it together a little bit.
Hammond won't walk many.
Right, and he's one of those guys that gives a hitter a comfortable over, too, because he has no overpowering pitch.
2-1 to count to Chamberlain. Three and 1.
A lot of breaking balls and changeups.
Wes will get a fastball here.
You sure would think so with a 5-run lead.
Chamberlain thought it was inside the full count. I don't think that was a fastball.
Could have been. It almost looked like a slider. And he doesn't throw many of those. That had a quick break to it, or a cut fastball. It wasn't that big looping hook he's been throwing.
Struck Chamberlain out on a changeup in his first time at bat. Lost him. First walk by Hammond. Nobody out, and Incaviglia, who singled to center field as the batter.
Hammond walked 4, struck out 3 in 5 1/3 innings his last time out. Gave up 8 hits, and he's lost 3 in a row. So he really hasn't been pitching all that well. But sometimes guys pitch a lot better with a 5-0 lead.
Last year he won 8 in a row, and he lost 7 in a row.
Yeah,
this must be a streaky pitcher. Ball 1 to Incaviglia.
Yeah, he had 6-0 record in June last year with a 2.53 earned run average.
Went on a 7-game losing streak right after the All-Star break. Pop up, shallow right. Sheffield makes the catch. 1 down.
Been a pitcher where his team hasn't scored a whole lot of runs for him either. He's a good pitcher. I mean, he was a pretty good pitcher in the Reds organization.
Kim Baptiste grounded into a force out. 0 for 1. Well, Kim Baptiste will be playing a lot now that Kevin Stocker is. In fact, I think he was operated on today, wasn't he?
He's operated on today, and they found a tear that they expected.
Off the glove. Oh, they get the force. Abbott kept the ball in front of him. Able to get the force at second.
That ball ate him up on a tough hop, too. They made a really good play to get it out. You see him shaking that gloved hand, because that hit him in a spot where he didn't expect. Right there. See, it jumped on him. He was trying to backhand it and took a bad hop. He made a nice play to Jerry Brown. Now, Bosky's going to stay in the game. Andy Carter was up throwing. It appeared if they had gotten a couple of men on base, they would have hit for Bosky, but now he'll stay in with just 1 on and 2 outs.
Sean Bosky.
He can hit a little bit, too.
1 hopper to Magadan. That'll retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. Florida batting in the 5th. They lead 5-0.
Finally alone together. This is my secret little place.
Alfredo.
Ciao, bello.
Jerry, this is my brother Alfredo.
Brother?
And Sophia. Hello, Bella.
Hello. Why don't you join us?
Are they going to be coming to the movie?
American Express.
Right. No preset spending limit.
Don't I know it?
To apply for the card, look at this display and take one.
Enjoy.
There's a new kind of energy around here. An energy company that's doing everything it can to help protect your air and your rivers. In fact, it's one of the few in the country that already exceeds those tough new clean air standards and won't have to spend a lot of money on new equipment to help preserve your environment. They planned ahead. There's a new energy company around here and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the AT&T Business Advantage. Let it work for you. Nationwide Insurance Enterprise. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Philadelphia is Richard Cording. And by the Yellow Pages, 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Bottom of the 5th, top of the Marlins batting order. To face Sean Bosky, Carr, Magadan, and Sheffield. Chucky Carr is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Switch hitter. Batting much better left-handed than right. Ball 1 on Carr. Hitting .320 or .361 left-handed. And another base hit for Chucky Carr. He's stolen a base. He has 10 without being caught.
Oh, he led the league in steals last year, did Chuck Carr. And he might think about running again in this situation.
Dave Magadan has walked and hit a 2-run homer. He's hitting at .302. I don't think Chuck Carr will stop running with a 5-run lead.
They say that unwritten, not in the book rule is you don't run if you're leading by 6 or more runs.
Is that what it says?
But I don't know that everybody knows that.
I don't think Chuck Carr knows it.
Well, he'll find out if he runs it at 6-0. But it's 5.
That run margin is increased. Strike on Magadan.
Yeah, that's one of those things. You know, I'm just kidding around, but that's one of those things that I think people have different views on, of when you run and you're showing somebody up. And of course, base stealers say, well, you know, guys are still trying to hit home runs when it's 6-0 or 7-0, whatever it is. So it's a tough line to really draw and figure out.
Why stop doing the thing you do best?
Right. But you do hear it, and you see guys get thrown at it after they run in those situations.
There he goes. I think Dalton would have had him with a good throw. That's his 11th stolen base. He's 11-0.
Well, he got a great jump. And, you know, when you have that kind of base stealer, catcher has a tendency to hurry a little bit too much. And Whitey's right. With a good throw, he would have had him, but it looked like he rushed his throw, and as a result, it sailed. It took off on him.
Strike 2 on Magadan. Give Magadan a little credit. He let him go.
Magadan takes more pitches maybe than anybody in baseball. So he's a perfect 2-hitter for a base stealer.
Outside. Carr on second, nobody out. Dalton wants time and talk to his pitcher.
They're just talking about signs right now, probably, with a runner on second base.
Or Magadan, they could be talking about him, what to try to do with him. They're ahead on the count 1 and 2. They'd like to strike him out.
Doesn't strike out a whole lot. He's always been a pretty good contact hitter. He pulls a ball out more now than he did when he was with the Mets early in his career, as you saw with that home run he had last time.
Struck him out. Whatever they talked about must have worked.
Fooled him too. It looked like he chased a bad ball that time. Magadan is a very disciplined hitter, takes a lot of pitches. Dalton slid in for a pitch inside. He threw a tailing high fastball away, and Magadan chased it. If Magadan peaked, he fooled himself then.
Oski's first strikeout. Sheffield, the batter, is 0 for 2. Hitting .316. Chased high and inside.
Yeah, that's where he likes it, though. They want to pitch him away. They don't want to be in there too much. Phillies in the first inning. Jim Fregosi talked about on the pregame show how many games they've lost with their defense this year. Did not execute a double play ball that Sheffield hit in the first inning. Cost them 3 runs right out of the chute.
Fouled right below us. 2 strikes on Sheffield.
That was a good pitch to him, too. You give him balls middle in, he kills that pitch. You stay away from him, make a good pitch with him, you have a better chance. The double play ball in the first inning was a good pitch away from him.
He buggy whips that bat.
You got to be strong to be able to get that bat through the strike zone with all that movement.
Did he swing? Nope.
No, but I think Poncino anticipated him something starting then, because he threw it inside and Sheffield didn't like it, and Poncino started walking forward. The umpire, watch. Ball looks like it's supposed to be away, and it comes in. Sheffield, looking at the look he gave, and there comes Poncino off with a mass just in case.
Well, you can pitch inside, I would think.
I don't know anymore.
The hitters don't like it, but
well, they dive into everything, you know, and then when a ball comes in, they're surprised by it.
Struck him out on a bad pitch. 2 strikeouts for Bosky. Back-to-back here in the 5th.
Sheffield is a wild swinger, and you can get him to chase all kinds of pitches. Dalton wants it away again, and Bosky came back up and in. That's 2 times Dalton set up away, and Bosky's come back up and in.
Worked.
Yeah.
Jeff Conine has walked, scored a run, and grounded out. A little bit high, ball 1 to Conine. He's hitting .315. Carr's still on second, 2 outs. Good pitch with a slider or cut fastball, whatever it is. One through that one. Ball and 2 strikes on Conine. Our old buddy Cookie Rojas coaches at third here, and a pretty good former ball player, Veda Pinson, coaches at first.
Here's Cookie. Veda Pinson, what a player he was. He could run.
He looked like the road runner when he ran.
He was so graceful every part of the game for Veda Pinson. He was a real graceful player.
Struck out the side after a leadoff single. Did Bosky. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on. After 5 innings, 4-5, Phillies nothing.
Yeah, you've seen it all. Done it all. Pretty much got it all figured out. But have you got what it takes to be a mountain man? All it takes are the 2 cool beers of the Mountain Man. Smooth Busch beer, easy drinking Busch Light. So, be a mountain man. All you gotta do is head for the mountains.
For cars designed to perform better with higher octane gasoline, Texaco now gives you new Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium, both with an advanced system of engine cleaning designed to work overtime. For the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage. Changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium from Texaco. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
I wonder what the warranty covers. How does Prism's 24-hour roadside assistance work anyway? Can I get anti-lock brakes? Are the dual airbags really standard?
Before you buy a new car, you have a lot of questions. Call 1-800-GET-TO-KNOW and get to know all the answers about the Geo Prism.
How about if I just take this one?
easiest and most convenient way to purchase Phillies tickets is to buy them directly from the Phillies by phone. It's easy, no hassle. Call the Phillies at 463-1000. Plenty of terrific baseball coming up, so plan now. Top of the order, Dykstra, Duncan, Kruk to face Chris Hammond. Phillies haven't had him in any trouble at all. Dykstra is 0 for 2, has struck out and lined out to left. Really hitting at 267. One hopper to Brown, and Dykstra's out. One down here in the 6th. Those Houstons are leading Cincinnati 5-0 in the 6th. Greg Swindell is pitching that shutout. Jose Rijo started for the Reds. He's out of there now. And the Mets lead St. Louis 1-0 in the 3rd. Duncan's 1 for 2. Ball 1 on Dunk. Big cut, fouled it off. Phillies did get a runner on second base in the 1st inning. That was Duncan with 1 out, and that's about it. Another base hit for Duncan. A 1-out single. Hit that ball sharply to left for John Kruk.
Phillies desperately need to get a couple people on. Somebody pop one and get back in this. That was a good at bat again by Duncan, who's done a pretty good job hitting tonight off Hammond.
Kruk has flied out to center and grounded out. Hitting at .333. Kruk's had a couple days off with the rain out last night. Oh, change directions. Does he get him? Oh, he does. Ball bounced right to Jerry Brown.
A lot of that going on this year. Looked like Destrade had no chance, and then he deflected it right to the second baseman. Good job by Chris Hammond not to turn into a spectator. And he covered. A lot of times a pitcher will get caught on this one, but not Hammond. He did the job he's supposed to do. He broke over right away. That's 2 balls now that have bounced off fielders' gloves right to another fielder. Or not to another fielder, but the first time it bounced right to Abbott, the shortstop.
Dave Hollins is 0 for 2, popped out, lined out. And a strike. If we could get that Bruce Fremming out of the way of our center field camera. I doubt it. One and 1 the count. Bruce has the plate covered.
He doesn't want you to second guess his colleague. Bruce knows you very well, so that's why he's doing that.
Good umpired game tonight. Two and 1 on Hollins.
Hammond showing no signs of tiring. They have a 7-man bullpen right now, although one of the pitchers are going to have to go because they're going to add Johnson to their roster tomorrow. There's that bullpen, and it is loaded with guys who they can use, and that doesn't count Brian Harvey, who's disabled. Phillies are a little short in their pen. They only have 5 pitchers right now, and they're using Bosky tonight already for 3.
Good play. Brown got him. No runs, a hit, 1 left on. Bottom of the 6th, Florida leads 5-0.
coffee. 9 out of 10 use it. All aboard! The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
The feisty Phillies look to pummel the Pirates and ring Jay's bell. Thursday, May 12th, and Friday, May 13th at 7:35. Saturday, May 14th at 7:05. And Sunday, May 15th at 1:35, when women 15 and over receive a free oversized T-shirt, compliments of Thriftway. One neat gift and 4 big games against Dandy Andy and the Buccos. To order tickets by phone, call 463-1000.
Introducing the lineup of your favorite Phillies Photo Ball baseballs. Play ball! Collect all 5 at Burger King for only $2.99 each. Here's the play-by-play on how. Slide into your participating Burger King restaurant. Buy any delicious value meal. Run home with 1 Phillies Photo Ball. Let's replay. Slide. Buy. Score! Collect a different photo ball each week for $2.99 at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way. What a steal!
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. It won't fill you up but never lets you down. So make it a Bud Light. Your Quality Plus Ford dealer who invites you to test drive the brand new 1994 Mustang convertible. And by Pico Energy. There's a new kind of energy around here. Pico Energy. The skyline of Miami. Orestes Destrade will lead it off. John Bosky still in there. Struck out the side in the 5th. Destrade is 0 for 2. He's off to a slow start. Fouls it away.
Last year he batted cleanup quite a bit for the Marlins. Now they have him in the 5 hole with Conine, who's been hitting with some more power batting fourth.
Strade batting at .213. Look out. Ball and a strike.
Ben Rivera got a strikeout on him in the 1st inning. Looked like he might be able to tap dance through that 1st inning, and then Jerry Brown hit that double about a foot, or the triple about a foot fair down the line.
One and 2 to count. Brown's the next hitter, and then Kurt Abbott. 5-0 Florida lead here in the bottom of the 6th. John Bosky has pitched some pretty good relief. Missed it low. Might be flogging a dead horse, though.
He's doing his job.
Yeah.
His job is to try and keep the Marlins off the board and see if the Phillies can catch up. He's kept them off the board, but the Phillies have yet to score a run, let alone catch up.
These expansion clubs are better clubs. The Rockies and Marlins.
Well, sure, they had a different set of rules. As you look at Chris Hammond, they could draft from both leagues. They could sign free agents, and they had the chance to set up a minor league system a little early. The 2 keys are drafting from both leagues and having the ability to sign free agents.
Incaviglia there in left makes the catch.
They paid some pretty good entry fees, so they try to take care of him as best they could. And
$90 million.
Yeah, and the hey, give their general managers David Dombrowski and Bob Gephardt credit. They put together some good organizations, and they have respectable teams, both of them.
Brown had that bases loaded triple in the 1st and lined out to deep right field in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2. Good curveball by Bosky. He was a late entry into the game, too. He wasn't even in the original lineup. Jerry Brown.
Brett Barbary was a late scratch because he was having trouble with his contact lenses.
Another line drive. Chamberlain there again. Wes has caught 2 out of 3 of them. The other one, the first one, the triple, he didn't have a chance. 2 away for Kurt Abbott, the shortstop, who's 0 for 2, lined out to left, grounded out to Hollins. Right to Kruk. Bosky. And the Marlins quickly down in order. Harry Kellis joins Chris Wheeler in the 7th after 6 full innings. 5-0 Florida.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. So come on along, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer.
Ladies and gents, Domino's presents
Domino's new deep dish pizza.
It's really something.
With an extra deep, zesty crust, overflowing with melty mozzarella, browned to the very edge.
Nothing else tastes like this.
It's back by popular demand. Call now for our deep dish pizza special. 2 medium deep dish pizzas loaded with cheese for just $10.99. That's almost like getting a pizza for free. 2 rich and chewy deep dish pizzas, only $10.99, and only at Domino's.
Tom Ridge has always made Pennsylvania proud. In Vietnam, his valor earned a Bronze Star. In Washington, he fought the Clinton tax increase and earned the Taxpayers' Hero Award. His bold plan will slash spending and taxes $2 billion. On day 1, he'll call the legislature back to fight crime. And welfare will never be the same.
I'm running for governor because I want to change Pennsylvania. And with your help, I will.
Tom Ridge, he can change Pennsylvania, honestly.
Come out for the fun of it, son of it. A good time business person special, compliments of Mellon PSFS, Wednesday, May 18th at 1:05 when the Phillies maul Montreal. Treat yourself to midday, mid-May baseball. Call 463-1000.
After 6 innings of play, it's the Marlins 5, the Phillies nothing. Tomorrow at 6:30, Kelly gets a job that pays more than Al's, and at 7, Al and Steve fear baldness on Married with Children, only on PHL 17. A man who fears nothing. Back with us, Harry the K.
Darren Dalton leads it off, takes one low for a ball. Dutch is struck out and flying out to right. Chris Hammond has been in command tonight. The Phillies have just 3 hits off him, all of them singles. 2 of them by Mariano Duncan, and Dunk's the only man to get past first base. No one has greeted Larry Bowa at third yet. 5-0 Florida. Line drive, but right at Abbott. Dalton's out, 1 down. That'll bring up Wes Chamberlain. He has struck out and walked, the only walk given up by Chris Hammond tonight. Hammond can get on a roll. Last June, he was the co-pitcher of the month. He was 6-0 in the month of June last year.
2.53 earned run average that month.
Yeah.
This 5-run lead he has too has helped him.
It's helped him, and he's thrown all of his pitches for strikes: fastball, breaking ball, and changeup. Long run for Sheffield, and that's going to drop in for a hit for Wes. He'll roll into second with a stand-up double. Phillies' 4th hit off Hammond. Chamberlain is at second base with 1 out for Pete Incaviglia.
Sheffield had a chance to throw him out, but it looked like he bobbled it a little bit or picked it up and dropped it. Chamberlain jams himself with a fastball here, and with a 5-run lead, you really don't want to take too many chances. But see, Sheffield overruns it, and then he bobbles it, and Chamberlain was running the whole way, and I think Sheffield thought he had a shot at him. That might be why he bobbled it.
Sheffield has a good arm out there.
You know, we used to see him throw from 30, and a terrific arm.
Incaviglia has singled and flied to right. Popped him up into shallow center field, drifting out as a shortstop, Abbott. And he squeezes it for out number 2. And it will bring on Kim Baptiste. Baptiste has been up twice. Twice he's grounded into fielder's choices. Once on a hard hit ball and a good play by Abbott, the shortstop. Andy Carter is the left-hander and Heathcliff Slocum the right-hander in the Phillies bullpen. If the Phils get to Sean Bosky, Ricky Jordan would pinch hit for him. But to do that, Baptiste will have to reach. Change is high for a ball. Just missed a little bit wide. 2-0. Curt Schilling will go tomorrow for the Phils against David Weathers. Saturday night, Tommy Green and Pat Rapp. And on Sunday, Danny Jackson against Charlie Huff. 2-1 to Kim Baptiste. We'll be televising this whole series for you here from Joe Robbie Stadium. Gets away from Tingley, but not far enough for an advance by Chamberlain. 3 balls and 1 strike to Kim Baptiste. There's Saturday and Sunday's pitchers. Danny Jackson on Sunday, Tommy Green on Saturday. Ground ball to Maggott in the 3rd. Baptiste is retired, and so are the Phils in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. Stretch time at Joe Robbie. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-0 Florida.
Kelly's new job is bringing in a little extra cash.
$250,000 a year.
So Al's protecting her interest.
I'll take 40% of the gross.
What's gross mean?
But there's stormy weather ahead.
You see these little clouds? Now they won't stick to just anything. Look.
Why don't they just put some peanut butter on our gums like they did with Mr. Ed?
On the next Married with Children.
Tomorrow at 6:30 on PHL 17.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
We asked the Russo brothers of Philadelphia which is Roy Rogers' new $1.99 Philly cheesesteak and which is the Philly original.
This is the original Philly cheesesteak right here.
How could you have it? I got it.
They couldn't agree, because Roy's has the same authentic ingredients. Thinly sliced steak, sautéed onions, and melted cheese in a soft bakery roll. But it's only $1.99. Roy's new Philly cheesesteak, just like the ones in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love.
Roy's new Philly cheesesteak, just $1.99.
Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. What is the leading cause of skin cancer? Overexposure to radiation from the sun is the #1 cause of skin cancer. Experts recommend excessive sunning be avoided.
Well, here's a Chevrolet game summary. Jerry Brown with a 3-run triple on the 1st inning. Dave Maggott a 2-run homer in the 2nd. All those runs coming with 2 outs. And then Chris Hammond has shut down the Phillies with 7 innings pitched tonight, 4 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, and the Marlins lead 5-0.
Ron Tingley, the catcher, leads off, pops a foul back and out of play. He is 1 out of 2 for the season, just 2 for 24. 1 strike to Tingley. Sean Bosky pitching in his 5th inning in relief of Ben Rivera. All 5 runs given up by starter Rivera. Bosky's only given up 1 hit. He's pitched well out of the bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes. 2-team lead.
Interesting to hear what Jim Fregosi has to say after the game on Ben Rivera.
You have to be concerned, Wheels, with the fact that he has not thrown hard all year. The velocity, Tingley's out on strikes. The 4th strikeout for Bosky. The velocity, even in the games he's won, and he won 2 ball games, still was maxed out around 83 or 84. You wonder how come he doesn't have a fastball.
The thing they're worried about is he doesn't have one at the beginning of the game. You know, sometimes a guy will pitch a few innings, run out of gas, and lose his fastball, but he hasn't had one at the beginning.
Here's Chris Hammond. He is sacrificed and fly to left, and he pops this one into shallow left. Pete Incaviglia to the line. Makes the catch, 2 down.
And they're wasting a really good job by Bosky right now, who's, we mentioned earlier when Whitey was in here, he's doing what he's supposed to do, and that's try to keep him off the board, and he's done that.
Yes, he has. The only thing he's given up is a base hit to Chucky Carr. Other than that, he's retired everybody he's faced.
And here comes the aforementioned Chucky Carr.
2 out of 3 is Chucky with 2 stolen bases and a run scored. Leads the league now in stolen bases with the 11. Led the league last year with 58. Beats a foul down the first base side on an off-speed pitch.
He's got to be a chance to be sporting the #1 bulb in his ear too in the league. That looks like one of the bigger ones. That looks like a light bulb, that thing.
What, that ear flap?
No, that earring.
Oh.
Look at that thing. That's a diamond. That's a good one.
Breaking ball missing. It's 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Chucky Carr. Missing down and in. 2-1. Right after a high changeup and missed it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Faced another high pitch and fouled it back. This will be Bosky's last inning. He is scheduled to lead off the 8th. And the 27-year-old right-hander has pitched well. Ground ball to John Kruk. Kruk underhands to Bosky in ample time, and that will retire the side. Great 5 innings by Bosky. 1 hit shutout ball. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the 8th. It's 5-0 Florida.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and to me, and there's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along and head for the mountains of Bushmere. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth, and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bushmere.
You know why your Quality Plus Ford dealer is the truck authority? Motor Trend says the Ford Ranger is bad news for the competition. Surveys prove Ranger beat the competition in overall quality. 83% of Ranger owners are more than satisfied with Ranger's quality. Plus, Ranger comes with 24-hour roadside service. It's the #1 compact pickup for 7 years straight. With $1,300 total savings, it's everybody's favorite little bad boy. That's why your Quality Plus Ford dealer is the truck authority.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Never miss a meeting.
What would you do?
Mom's not home. Pager.
What about you?
All right, you got the pager number, right?
We're going out.
Cool, this works.
What would you do? You could go anywhere, do anything, and still keep in touch with the people you want to keep in touch with. So what are you waiting for? Get the pager from Motorola, the leader in paging.
Tonight's Phillies game on PHL 17 is brought to you in part by Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. By Nationwide Insurance Enterprises. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Philadelphia is Rich Cordy. And by Motorola Pagers. Never miss an important call. Pocket a pager from Motorola. Ricky Jordan is going to lead off as a pinch hitter for Bosky, and he takes a breaking ball low for a ball. Through 7 innings now, Chris Hammond has thrown just 76 pitches. He's made it look easy. Ball's behind Jordan 2-0. Ricky is batting at 200. As a pinch hitter, he is 0 for 5. Hadn't fallen behind many hitters, but he's behind Jordan here. 3 balls and no strikes.
And just 76 pitches prior to Ricky Jordan's at bat, so it's been pretty easy for Hammond so far.
Got that one over. It's 3-1. Heathcliff Slocum, the right-hander, Andy Carter, the left-hander. If the Phillies get a couple on the board, it'll probably be Slocum. If not, might be the youngster Carter. Full count to Jordan. In the air to center field. Pretty well hit, but Chucky Carr, a lot of room out there, makes the grab. 1 down. That'll bring up Lenny Dykstra. Dude, nothing for 3 is struck out, lined out, and grounded out. So after falling behind Jordan 3-0, came back to get him. Phillies continue to waver in pinch hitting department. The Phillies now are 4 for 42 pinch hitting, less than 100 batting average. Foul backing out of play. 1 strike to Dykstra. Sheffield really gives him the line in right field. Way over in right center field.
Well, they feel that he's going to pull the ball on the ground and hit the ball in the air.
Breaking ball. Good pitch. Nothing in 2. You see the outfield defense.
Yeah. And you see where the shortstop's playing, so they have a big hole on the left side with Magadan. Because Lenny doesn't hit a whole lot of balls that way on the ground.
Breaking ball missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Hammond's funky with that curveball. Doesn't throw his changeup to the left-handed batters very often, if at all. But he has that herky-jerky release, and I'm sure he's tough to pick up when he throws that breaking ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kind of slings it up there.
Marlins winningest pitcher last year. He won 11, lost 12. Got him from Cincinnati, along with Gary Scott in the Hector Carrasco deal.
Yeah, Carrasco was a player to be named later, and it depended on how well this guy did for the Marlins last year and what kind of player the Reds got.
High fly ball right to Sheffield. He makes the grab for out number 2, and that'll bring up Mariano Duncan. Duncan's 2 out of 3 is singled twice. Two outs and no base runners. Got the changeup over for a strike to Duncan. Phillies have not had a runner reach Larry Bowa at third base tonight. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's probably in a great mood.
He hasn't had a chance to wave anybody in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Duncan gets his third hit down the line. Conine gets it back in, a stand-up double for Mariano Duncan. So he's 3 out of 4, has 3 of the Philly 5 hits, and it'll bring up John Kruk, who's 0 for 3.
Looked like Hammond made a pretty good pitch on him, too. He jammed Dunk with a fastball. He cut a little bit, got in on his hands, and he flared it to left, got it down the line for the extra base hit.
So Krucker coming on with a runner at second base and 2 outs. Missing with the breaking ball, 1-0.
Marlins have had no bullpen activity tonight because Hammond hasn't been in trouble.
Bouncing ball to Brown at second. Kruk retired. So are the Phils in the 8th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Florida leads at 5-0.
Lately, other long-distance companies have been throwing numbers at you on how much they're positive they can save your business over AT&T. Hey, anybody can juggle numbers, right? Truth is, they're tossing around these numbers without comparing similar plans and discounts, domestic or international, because if they did, there wouldn't be much left to juggle. We're telling you this because at AT&T, we don't want anyone to do a number on you. For the true figures, call us. Let AT&T work for you.
Oh, man. Look what you did. What I did? Just who do you think you are, man? Who do you think I am?
Easy, fellas. What would he do?
Oh, the Yellow Pages?
Just any Yellow Pages?
Genuine Yellow Pages.
9 out of 10 use it.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you very much.
The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
The Daily News, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and the Philadelphia Inquirer all endorse Dwight Evans for governor. The Post-Gazette says voters should be looking for vision and realism. The candidate who best exemplifies both is Dwight Evans. And the Inquirer says Dwight Evans has the substance and the toughness to run this state. Evans has the ability to inspire and the credentials to be a fine governor. Tough problems, straight talk. Dwight Evans for governor.
Good evening, I'm Neil Hartman with a sports break. Only 2 other games in the National League this evening in progress at this moment. New York leads St. Louis 4-1 in the 6th, and it's Houston out in front of Cincinnati 6-2 in the 8th. National League Player of the Month, it is Ellis Burks, Colorado Rockies, quite a month, .413 batting average, 9 home runs. He is the Player of the Month. The Pitcher of the Month, Bob Tewksbury of the St. Louis Cardinals, 5-0 in the month of April. He is now 6-0. He won his first start in the month of May. Let's send it back now to Florida. Phillies trail 5-0.
All right, Neil, Andy Carter will be the Phillies' new pitcher. Made his major league debut against San Diego on Tuesday night and ended up getting ejected from the game. After hitting a batsman, he pitched 1/3 of an inning, got a bunt pop-up back to him, then hit another batsman and was ejected. So Carter, the 25-year-old from Springfield High School, Montgomery County, University of Delaware product. He can be a little wild, I guess. 1 ball and no strikes to Magadan.
That one got Poncino. He admitted the other night he was pretty nervous, and rightly so. He said, I really wasn't trying to get those balls as far inside as I did.
One ball and 1 strike to Magadan, who was walked, hit a 2-run home run, and struck out. Bottom of the 8th, Marlins leading 5-0. Fouled out of play. Carter is on for Sean Bosky. 5 strong innings of relief by Bosky. 1 hit, no runs. 4 strikeouts and no walks. And in 5 innings, Bosky threw exactly the same number of pitches as Ben Rivera did in 2 innings, 54. Breaking ball hit to left field. Incaviglia makes the grab. Magadan's out, one down. It'll bring up Gary Sheffield. Well, the Phillies have handled Sheffield tonight. He's get into a fielder's choice, grounded out and struck out. 9-game hitting streak on the line, but Jerry Brown and Dave Magadan have done the damage.
And the fielder's choice was a key play in the first inning because it probably should have been a double play ball. And it gave him the extra out, and the Marlins made the Phillies pay as a number of teams have done this year.
1 ball and no strikes to Sheffield.
Sheffield wants to pull the ball, and he has great power to left and left center. Not much of an opposite field hitter, even though he will do it once in a while, but most of his home runs are going to come when he pulls the ball.
Got jammed and he fouls it past Cookie Rojas, the third base coach.
You get the bat head going as fast as he does, you're just not going to hit many balls in right field. Not like he waits on it.
2 balls and 1 strike to Gary Sheffield. Missing. 3-1. Sheffield thought it was ball 4. It's a full count now to Gary Sheffield. Breaking ball fouled off, still 3-2. Houston leads Cincinnati 6-2. Brett Boone counting for the Reds runs with a 2-run homer, his third. Sheffield called out on strikes. First major league strikeout for Andy Carter, and a good hitter at that. He gets Gary Sheffield for his first major league strikeout.
That Rene Latchman comes out of the dugout fast when he sees his players in trouble. And Poncino keeps looking in there. He flipped his helmet at home plate. I thought he'd give him a $100 fine, but it didn't appear that he did. He thought the one pitch was outside. He thought this one was inside. Might have had a point.
Conine lost a fly ball into center field. Lenny Dykstra there puts it away, and that will retire the side. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the 9th inning. It's 5-0, Florida.
Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on.
Lean on number 1, Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield.
While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a way to consolidate all your bills and loans. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans. While you're enjoying some of the comforts of home, remember, your home can give you lots of other comforts. Like a college education. Mellon PSFS Home Equity Loans.
Tom Ridge's attack ad is yet another cheap shot, and he knows it. Nobody's been a tougher prosecutor than I have, period. I'll put my record up against Tom Ridge's record in Congress any day. Tom Ridge voted to raise our taxes, and millions lost their jobs. He bounced checks in that house bank scandal, and 2 weeks ago, he didn't even show up to vote for the death penalty, so it lost by just 1 vote. Here's the difference. Tom Ridge wants to fool around with those negative ads. I want to build a better Pennsylvania.
After 8 innings of play, it's Florida 5 and the Phillies nothing. Saturday at 5, a man risks his life to rescue an archaeologist's daughter. Michael Dudikoff stars in River of Death, only on Philadelphia's movie station, PHL 17. Dave Hollins leads it off for the Phillies here in the ninth. He's popped up line to left and grounded out. Chris Hammond is looking for his first major league shutout. It's one complete game last year. It was not a shutout. And delivers a strike.
They have Rob Nen up in the bullpen, the only time they've had any activity all night.
No balls and a strike to Hollins. 1-1.
Phillies have already been shut out 3 times this year, all of them at Veterans Stadium.
For a team that set the all-time National League record for 174 consecutive games without being shut out. That'll be a bunt base hit for Dave Hollins. So Hollins gets a bunt base hit. Phillies' 6th hit, and it will bring on Darren Daulton. Our second business person special of the year coming up on Wednesday, May 18th, when the Phils take on the Montreal Expos. Midweek, midday, mid-May baseball. All compliments of Mellon PSFS. Order your tickets now for that BP special Wednesday, May 18th at 1:05. For tickets, call 463-1000 or stop by the Center City ticket office at Mellon PSFS Center Square. 1 ball and no strikes to Daulton. He is struck out fly to right and lined out to short.
Well, Nen set down right away after that hit, and now they have Richie Lewis, a right-hander, and Yorkis Perez, a left-hander, up.
One ball and 1 strike. Dave Hollins at first and nobody out here in the ninth. Breaking ball, 1-2. Off the end of his bat into shallow left field. Abbott, the shortstop, can't get it. Neither can Conine. And the Phillies have their first 2 men on base here in the 9th inning on a looping single to left by Darren Daulton.
Phillies got a break on that because Abbott should have caught that ball. Shortstop, a ball stays in the air that long. His shortstop was there, he appeared, and just did not come up with it.
Brings on Wes Chamberlain. He is 1 for 2, has struck out, walked, and doubled.
See right here, he's kind of coasting. He just missed it.
Yeah.
That's a ball he definitely should have been caught.
Ground ball to shortstop, might be 2, and is a double play. Hollins moves up to third base, 2 outs now. And the batter will be Pete Incaviglia.
Florida Marlins lead the league in double plays, and they got one at a key spot there.
Hollins becomes the Phillies' first base runner to reach third, and here's Incaviglia. So Hammond is 1 out now away from his first major league shutout. He has scattered 7 hits. One ball and no strikes.
Nice play by the catcher Tingley there. That almost cost him his shutout.
Tingley's a good defensive receiver. He's kind of Charlie Huff's designated catcher, the knuckleballer. We won't be seeing Santiago at all in this series. He's serving a 4-game suspension. 1 ball and 1 strike to Incaviglia.
Marlins have one other shutout on their staff this year, but it must have been a combined shutout.
Missed inside, 2-1. Grounded sharply foul down the left field side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pete Incaviglia. Dave Hollins at third with 2 outs here in the 9th inning. Jerks a foul on a changeup down the third base side, out of play. Still 2-2 to Incaviglia. Breaking ball close. It's full count. Kim Baptiste waits on deck. Got him with a changeup, struck him out. That'll end the ball game. A 5-0 Florida win, and Chris Hammond is our Chevrolet player of the game. His first major league shutout. He's an excited young man. Struck out 5, walked just 1, scattered 7 hits in his first big league shutout, as the Phils are shut out for the 4th time this year. All the scoring in the early innings: a 2-run homer by Magadan, a 3-run triple by Jerry Brown, and the Marlins beat the Phils by a score of 5-0. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in just a moment.
Introducing the lineup of your favorite Phillies photo ball baseballs. Play ball! Collect all 5 at Burger King for only $2.99 each. Here's the play-by-play on how. Slide into your participating Burger King restaurant. Buy any delicious value meal. Run home with 1 Phillies photo ball. Let's replay. Slide. Buy. Score! Collect a different photo ball each week for $2.99 at Burger King. We may not be the world's #1 fast food place. It just tastes that way. What a steal!
That other long-distance company says they have proof they'll save your business big money over AT&T on international calls. But cut through their proof, and you may not be so positive. You see, they're not comparing similar calling plans, and they give you an extra discount on only 2 numbers, while AT&T gives you an extra discount on a whole country. So next time they show you proof of big savings, remember, there are holes in their argument. For the whole story, call us. Let AT&T work for you.
You're looking at the fountain of youth. Advanced Formula Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil. In a test, it protected an engine for 200,000 miles. The result? Vital engine parts that looked as young as the day they were born. There was virtually no engine wear. If you're looking for the fountain of youth, you'll find it in a container of motor oil. Mobil 1 synthetic. It keeps your engine running like new.
On your mark, get set, grow. Kids 14 and under get a free growth chart featuring the Fanatic and Darren Dalton, compliments of the Mid-Atlantic Milk Marketing Association, when the Phillies mangle the Mets, Sunday, May 22nd at 1:35. Call 463-1000.
Chris Hammond, his first major league shutout as the Marlins beat the Phils by a score of 5-0. Travel arranged through U.S. Air with low Liberty fares between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh on 15 daily flights, because U.S. Air begins with you. Florida did all their scoring off Ben Rivera early in the first 2 innings. A bases loaded triple knocked in 3, Jerry Brown's triple, and then Dave Magadan, the 2-run home run. For the winning Marlins, 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left 2. Phillies, no runs, 7 hits, no errors with 7 left. Chris Hammond, the winner. He's 2-3. The loss goes to Ben Rivera. He is 2-2. And we'll be back with more from Joe Robbie Stadium right after these messages.